So I had a couple things for you. I did a little. I consulted stats,
Yeah,
and at the 60 game
as one
mark,
does.
here, found it interesting. Cory Seager, at least according to what I have, has played in exactly 30 of those games. So the run differential split, or the discrepancy, is in the games that he hasn't played in. It's 2.7 runs per game. In the games he has played in, it's 3.9. And you're like, wow, that is a massive jump. Except 3.9 would still be bottom five in MLB because 4.5 is the average. So with him back, like, I guess I just want to know what you think a good version of this offense looks like in like a month. Because also, I remember we talked about BABIP at the start of the year. It's like, well, it's too early. The Rangers have the lowest batting average on balls in play of any team, which sometimes indicates like you're getting bad luck. So I don't know what you think about all that, but I'm tired of watching 0 and 1 run games.
No, I listen. The We're at a point of the season where I understand like fans they don't really care about hearing about bad luck, right? At some point they just want people to produce. But yeah, I'll take it even a step further with the bad luck. I mean, a barreled baseball by definition is a baseball that is hit 98 miles an hour between a certain range of launch angles. So it is so specific. It's not about, well, you hit your ball 110 miles an hour in the air, I hit it on the ground, and the discrepancies with the results based on those two inputs. This is a very specific type of batted ball with the idea that over a large sample, everyone should have very similar results. Just looking at batting average, the Rangers have the lowest batting average in Major League Baseball on barreled baseballs. Is that bad luck? Is that have something to do with the ballpark? Hitting balls maybe up the alleys or to center versus down the line. I don't know. And some of it's probably self inflicted at some point. I'm not sure. Some of that bad luck, not with the barrels. What does a good version of this offense look like? I mean, I think a good version of this offense is a top 10 offense in baseball. I think that's what a lot of people peg this offense being. And I think it's one that walks enough. I don't think that it's an offense that's ever going to, lead the league in walks for any large stretch of time. But it's an offense that's going to hit home runs. I mean, that's how this lineup was built. This lineup was built to mash the baseball. Uh, they had on opening day, of the 10 guys who you thought could get regular playing time, they probably had 8 guys who you legitimately believed could hit 20 home runs in a season as long as they were healthy. And probably the only reason they wouldn't hit 20 home runs in a season is if they weren't healthy for any period of time. And it just hasn't played out that way so far. So I still think that this offense could turn. And much like in 2023, all it takes is a 60 game stretch and you can win a division. I know that they lost out on the division by a game, but they were that close. And for 102 games, they were a below 500 team. But for the first 60, they were 40-20, and that was enough to carry them. And this is a lineup that I think we thought going into the year was going to be streaky to some degree, but not. I mean, this isn't a lineup that's been streaky. It's a lineup that just hasn't been good. I think that there's still confidence that this lineup can hit its stride, but it's going to be based on the home run ball. I mean, that's how this lineup was built. Not to walk, not to work the count. It was built to hit the ball 400 feet 3 or 4 times a game.
Does the blame ever fall to Bochy? Like they already got rid of their hitting coach, but it's kind of like Bochy's. It feels like he's
It's just
too
the
much aura.
gravitas is, yeah.
Too much aura around Bochy. You could never blame him.
So, well, I guess my response to that, my question back would be like, what are you blaming him for? Just because he's in that role, and so all right, you got to blame someone, or is there something that you can point to and say, hey, he's got his hands on this. This is his fault.
Uh, no, I'm just because he's the manager of a team, and when
Yeah,
teams
right.
continually can't do something well, eventually the manager gets run. But I can't
Right. Takes
imagine
the
that it could be a during the season firing for Bruce Bochy. I don't think that would ever happen. I do think
no.
very likely he'd be gone after the year, though.
I agree with you that I don't think don't think anyone. First of all, internally, I don't think anyone's blaming him. Even if you want to get so granular, like I don't know, I don't know that he hired the hitting coaches. Like Donnie Ecker came before him. So if you want to even maybe say, well, is he the guy who hired these guys? I don't know that he hired them. I'm not sure the process of hiring Justin Veely, although I don't think it's necessarily even fair to put blame on Justin Veely, right? Because at the end of the day, I think it's it falls on the players largely. But yeah, now Dan, I'll tell you, his contract's up after this year, and I think there were a lot of people when the season started who thought this is not going to be his last year. I don't foresee a scenario in which the Rangers do not want Bruce Bochy back, but I do wonder. I think it's fair to wonder whether or not Bruce Bochy decides he wants to come back. But I even with the struggles offensively, Dan, if Bruce Bochy at the end of the year says I want to come back, Bruce Bochy is going to be this team's manager, even if this offense doesn't ever really turn a corner. So I don't foresee him getting any level of the blame. He hasn't lost the clubhouse by any means. Those guys still love him. There's nothing to me that it's like, hey, maybe Bruce Bochy's time here is numbered. If he does not come back, I would imagine it's his call, not the Rangers.
Have they tried torpedo bats?
Some players have. I know Jock Peterson did earlier in the year. Didn't really love the feel of it. I think maybe Kyle Higashioka tried it a little bit. Maybe Josh Smith, but a lot of the, Marcus Semien, I don't think had much interest. I know, Cory Seager kind of likes his bats the way they are. Maybe White Langford tried it as well. There are a few guys who I think like at points maybe gave it a shot, but I don't know that any of our guys have like taken to it and they feel comfortable or like it to the point where they want to use it in place of their bats. And one of the things that didn't maybe get characterized with the torpedo bats accurately is a lot of these guys have bats that are within the rules kind of tailored to their liking. Now, it might not be something as noticeable as the shape of it with the barrel placement, but these guys, they're not just going to like your local sporting goods store and picking up a wooden bat. So like a lot of these guys have had hours of conversations with bat makers and testing, maybe even in a lab, to determine like the bats that they like. And so, a lot of baseball players are creatures of habit. So it's not, I don't think it's like they're all swinging the same bat, or the torpedo bat. I think they all kind of have the bats that they like already. And so that's why I don't think any of the Rangers players have decided to make the switch.
Boy, that really seems like testing in a lab. That makes it
Oh
serious.
my
They got
God,
white
yeah.
coats and everything.
Oh, just graphs.
Like speakers,
Sure.
for some reason.
So, a
When-
girl that's
What we're really talking
a girl
about
that's way too hot to work there.
oh yeah,
Yeah, the whole science setup.
probably got a computer.
Yeah.